Is it working? Let's find out. Why is it still not working? Oh, it is working! Yes! We are the best. We are a team. You are here for me. I am here for you. I can't really be there for you. Well, I'm here for you in this sense, but I can't be there where you're at. But we did it. We're back. Yes. That's awesome. Okay. Sorry for that annoyingness. Technology is tough. We're back. I do think doing 2 streams at once is probably freaking out everything. So, like I said, eventually I'm going to be only streaming on Twitch. Please go over there. I'll probably, for like another week or 2, try to do YouTube, but it's not going to be permanent, and you're going to be sad because you're going to miss it, and I'm going to miss you. More importantly, I want you here with me. So, come to the Twitch. Go to the Twitch. Yes. Is it working on YouTube? Or is anyone from YouTube here? How are we doing? Just want to make sure. Yes. Sweet. Hi everybody. It's like we started all over again. Should we go back to the very beginning? So this is my sock. Just kidding. We're not gonna do that. I am on Wi-Fi. I'm supposed to have really good Wi-Fi, but I think it's probably realistically not perfect. Eventually I'll be Etherneted in, but life is just a mess. You want to see my mess? Look at this mess. Look at all this mess. This is my life right now. But it's fun. I'm excited to be here. Alright, so to recap, I'm getting already in this like 10-20 minutes that we've been streaming before all the issues. I feel like this butterfly has gotten a lot more comfortable. So like there's passive practice and deliberate practice. This is passive practice and it's definitely not as good, but I can feel like my muscle memory is kicking in a lot better. So that's awesome. My left hand is getting more smooth, not by a lot, but a little bit. Yeah. Somebody said I should work on isolations, which I know is like that. Look at this, by the way. See this? Ovens do not like me. This looks so sad. It looks like I got beat up by somebody. It just looks so bad when I do it, right? It's supposed to like isolate in this beautiful way while your hand rolls around it, but it's surprisingly hard. What up, Grandma Strong? Just kidding, it's Grandmaster Strong. He's fantastic. Lemon is great. She's sleeping under the desk. I'm not going to disrupt her right now, but she'll come out at some point. Yeah, Squala. See-through juggling balls, definitely the way to go. It's like, not see-through juggling balls, but see-through contact balls. They're called acrylics, and they're awesome. It's like, they create this beautiful effect. I find those extremely intimidating, because when you drop, they make a lot of noise, and they're sad. So I know that one. There's also this, which is just not easy at all. I feel like a Jedi. Like you're trying to get this ball to do this very complicated thing. Like a Jedi would be doing this, but it would be in the air. And they'd be like, yeah. Isolation and juggling, correct Gendry, is, Genry, I don't know how to say your name. That is, isolation and juggling is when you're like on a chair or something, or just in some sort of spot and you're not allowed to move. But isolation is in contact juggling, or many flow arts, is when you isolate an object and you can create cool stuff around it. Like I know there's another one, I don't remember how to do it, but it's cool. Squala, I'm also going to do things like gaming. I'm going to do a lot of just chatting and hanging out because I really like being able to get closer to people this way. But I'm also going to like game because I really like gaming. Who is my favorite juggler? Ooh, that is a hard question. I would say my favorite juggler right now, I'm a big fan of Michael Karras, and he has been a through line like throughout my entire life. So Michael Karras is, like, if you ask me at any time, that's always a pretty good answer. I'm gonna go with Michael Karras, final answer. Josh Horton is one of my favorite jugglers as a friend. He doesn't juggle enough for him to be somebody that I consider my favorite actual juggler, but he is ridiculously good. Marvin Ong is also ridiculously good. He's in the chat right now on Twitch, Grandmaster Ong. He told me some way to do like a thing where I tell people to go to his thing, but I don't remember, so you should click on his page because he also streams and he's really good. I think this looks amazing. Does this look amazing to anyone else? I think it looks amazing. Especially on video, like the way that the fingers like wrap around it. You can also do it this way, but I have to learn how to do it. I should watch a tutorial or something. But has anyone ever done the this? This is related to it, but I actually just learned how to do that in high school. It was like in my drama class. This is a really good exercise if you want to just get good at like finger dexterity, especially like clay motion. Very good exercises, these finger things. Also really good just to stretch your fingers. Because I talked about stretching a little bit last time. And this is a great, like, everyone can try this right now. Whatever you're doing, it's super fun if you've never done it. You put your hands out, you're going to start with your thumb, and then go finger to finger until that hand's closed. Then you're going to start with your pinky, go down, and end with your finger on top, and then open it, and reverse it. And eventually you can get really fast, and it, like, looks pretty cool, and then you can go back. You can put them together. It took me a long time to be able to do it really well. You can go from the middle out. It's kind of trippy, right? This was like way before they came up with the term like finger tutting, which is definitely a thing now. But I guess that's a little different with like, I can't do it. But doing these type of things are so, I do this every time I juggle, just to warm up. And there's lots of fun. I can't quite do that one, let's see. Like, it's just good for your brain, it's good for your hands. It's like juggling without stuff. It's so cool. You can also work on this type of stuff. You can, I learned how to do I'm not very good at this anymore. I used to be. He's a squid. Welcome to my stream. Taylor's random skills. Yeah. Which one did you want me to teach you, Karai? You said, can you teach us that? Little Chris, I have tried Diablo. I haven't tried it on video. I have tried it. I will definitely make a video at some point. What is your favorite Pokemon? Well, let me tell you. Growlithe. 100%. I have a Growlithe stuffed animal somewhere in the stuff. But Growlithe is the best. He's just a little fire puppy. He's literally a puppy that's on fire, or can make fire. Like, it's freaking great. Felix Vanderspeck, make more tutorials. Yes, yes, I know. It's surprisingly hard to make videos. I'm doing my best to make them as quickly as I can. But now this is my full-time thing, so I'm hoping to make a tutorial every week. I'm sure I will miss a week here and there, but at least one tutorial every week is my goal. So starting on probably Monday, there will be a tutorial on the factory, which I still need to film. I feel like my energy's coming up. You wanna juggle a little bit? I think so. Oh yeah, juggling time. Look at all the Twitch people. Yes. Everyone on YouTube, move to the Twitch. I mean, you don't have to. I'm not telling you what to do. I don't like it when people tell me to do. But if you want to keep watching me stream, eventually you're gonna have to. It's the juggling room. It's the same room. Who were we kidding? Let's get some props. Got 6 balls. I think it's a good, maybe I should just start with trying to do a 6-ball fountain. Oh, I'll figure out the cameras and stuff, don't worry. All right, 6-ball fountain with Russians, which just doesn't seem like a good idea because I'm really not good at Russians. This is the type of juggling ball. These are Russians. I'm not good at them. I also haven't warmed up at all, so this will be good. Brrr. I don't know. Here we go. I hate Russians. Oh, they're so horrible. Makes a lot of noise when you drop. It was not bad for not having warmed up at all. I really want to make practicing with Russians more of a priority. Not because I think that they're better or anything like that. I don't think they're better. But because I'd like to be able to have more control over all the things. Ultimately, to become the ultimate power in the universe. So I feel like the ultimate power in the universe should know how to do Russians. Wait, it sounded bad. Should know how to juggle Russian balls. Nope, missed that one. Try that again. I also don't normally juggle with glasses, so it's kind of throwing me off a little bit. You can learn these. If you know how to juggle 4 balls at all, you should watch my multiplex tutorial, because multiplexes are not that hard. Nailed it. Oh, just kidding. That was, you didn't see that. I don't know what that was. Are you using the foam mat that you got? Not in here. I have it downstairs. In here, I think the carpet makes it a little better, although that was definitely loud and probably heard by the neighbors. Russians are a type of juggling ball. Some people are confused by that. If you can hear it, it's probably a Russian ball. So a beanbag, they're over there. Just a beanbag is like a cloth ball that has, it's what you typically would think of if you're thinking about juggling. But Russians are shells, and you can see there's like sand inside. That's a Russian ball. 9-ball flash, please. No. Jim Halpert, can you do magic tricks? No. I'm trying to learn cardistry. You know, we have a deck of cards. I don't have it, but I'll show you. That's what it looks like, but with cards. So just imagine that that's the thing. I can't say your name. I still can't say it, even though I've tried so many times. Sorry. Does not wearing glasses affect your juggling? Like, do you still see well without them? I am nearsighted, so like I can almost read the chat, and it's pretty far away. But I have to squint really bad to read it, and so I can't see like details, but I can see objects for sure. So I mean, juggling balls, I don't have to be able to see all the details. I just have to be able to deduce where they are to catch them. So typically, yeah, it's a big enough object. If they were small, like quarter juggling, I couldn't do probably without glasses, but it doesn't seem to affect it. It affects it more with glasses than it does without. So having glasses is a huge pain because there's this lens here. So if you were to be juggling, you'd be seeing this, and that's just frustrating. Hey, Samay, thank you for coming to Twitch. Yes. all the Twitch people, and still a lot of YouTubers. Thank you to everybody who's watching me today. We're figuring this out together. There will be times where it's terrible, and there might be times where it's great. Just like real life. How can I quickly increase my endurance for the 3-ball cascade? What a good question. Let's move to the juggling corner. Okay, so now I'm too high. Let's bump this down a little bit. So, how do you increase your juggling endurance in general is a good question. Obviously practice is the biggest thing, but like what does that mean? What can you practice? Great questions. And I think in general there's like this overarching piece of advice that I like to give that I think applies to any skill. I think it's important to have a good mixture of deliberate practice and passive practice. What I was just doing with contact juggling, where I was talking to you all, that was passive, right? I wasn't like analyzing, I wasn't trying to improve like deliberate practice. So that's a type of practice. Deliberate practice is the time that you're probably going to make the most progress. But it's also the hardest to do because you have to set aside time to deliberately practice. And deliberate practice involves consciously thinking about what's happening, what's going wrong, what's going right. You know, if I throw, for example, if I'm working on back crosses, I'm noticing my left hand is going, that was just bad. So, starting over. I'm noticing my left hand is going further out. So, I have to start bringing that in. So deliberately practicing is noticing things like that, trying to deliberately make changes, improvements, things like that. You have to be focused on what you're doing. Passive practice, you don't. Now, I think it's good to do both because I think passive practice is really good for getting your muscles, your muscle memory to just work. Because the more you can just do this over and over again, whatever trick you're working on, the more your body's going to start realizing what it's supposed to be doing. But if you practice deliberately first and you figure out what you're doing wrong, that's important. So you do deliberate practice first on a trick, and then once you start getting to the point where you can do it pretty well and you need to increase your endurance, you start incorporating more passive practice because then you can practice more. So passive practice for me looks like when I'm on the phone, I'll do it. So I'll sit there and listen to music and just kind of work on tricks. The practice isn't going to go as well, but it's going to start forcing that muscle memory, which is going to increase my endurance. So if you're working on a 3-ball cascade, say maybe you're like here, and you're getting a bunch of catches, but then you start falling apart, practice in front of the TV. When you're watching TV, try to do it, and try to not think about juggling so much, because it's not deliberate practice time, it's passive practice. So when you're passive practicing, you're trying to rely on strengthening that muscle memory ability. So like just being able to juggle, I notice that with beginners a lot. They're at the point where they have to concentrate a bunch. You want to start getting it to the point where you can talk and you can just hang out and work on it passively. But you can't really get there until you've deliberately worked on it. So you don't want to like passively practice bad habits either. So yeah. It's good. Now, other basic tips for juggling in general, no matter what level you're at, like things that I've learned, if you're up here, up by your chest, you gotta bring them down. You should be juggling more at your hips, not up here. In general, this is especially true for numbers. Like the harder the trick gets, the more likely you are to start tensioning up your shoulders and going higher. Bring it down, right here, up, down to hips. Take advantage of this space, not this space. No matter how high I'm throwing, I'm still going to get low with my hands. That will increase your endurance. Hola, everybody. Okay, so somebody is spamming. This is when I need some mods going on. I'm gonna make Henry a mod. Go for it, Henry. You rock. Tips for back crosses with clubs or with balls, or both. I'm really bad at it with balls, as you saw. Like that's from a couple weeks of deliberate practice, and it's really not that good. Tips with clubs. I'm going to cover that in a tutorial. It's kind of hard to break down live on the stream. If you want to increase your time from 5 minutes to 10 minutes, if you're already doing 5 minutes, then you should start passively practicing it, because the more you can rely on your muscle memory and not your brain, the better you'll get. So start practicing on the phone, start practicing on TV, blah, blah, blah. Henry's always had the power, but he now officially has the power. Lil Chris, I'm so glad that your 3-ball shower has improved. This trick is the shower. A lot of people find it really hard. I remember it was really hard when I first learned, so just remember that. I get a lot of comments like, oh, I can't believe you're so good. I wish I was that good. I'm never gonna get that good. I think it's really important to remember, like, no matter where you're at, I was there. Wes Peden was there. Anthony Gatto was there when he was like 3, but he was there. Like, everyone was there at some point, and you just have to, you know, the difference between getting to where I'm at or even further is doing it and putting in that time and knowing it's going to take time. You know, I've been juggling for 15 years, so take your time. Don't rush. Tips for the 5-ball shower: work on 3-ball shower high. Pretty much if you watch my 5-ball tutorial, you can apply those same techniques of dwell time to any pattern, and that's what I do. Vovogalchenko, he is great. He's one of my patrons. He's a sweetheart. He's a good guy. I have so many comments that it's hard to juggle because then I don't get to talk to you as much, and I like that. I'm moving close because I feel like this is important. Thanks for being here. Okay. I had a lot of comments asking me to go to India. I want to go to India, 100%. I can't right now because COVID. But eventually I will be there, and I'll do a meetup, and we can meet up, and we can juggle, and it'll be great. I want to go everywhere, so anywhere. I feel like there's a whole generation of people that started to juggle in the pandemic, which is great. Like, there should be a name for it. You know how there's a name for Super Bowl babies? Like people who are conceived during Super Bowls? Which is a weird thought, but it's like a thing. It's like a term. I think there should be like COVID jugglers. Like if you learned how to juggle during COVID, you're a part of a batch of newbies that are awesome because you life handed you really sour lemons and you juggled them and made juggling lemonade, which is just the best way to do it. The real QVC, I'm doing good. Thanks. I'm actually doing a lot better talking to you all. Like I said, if you missed the beginning of the stream, I had a bad day. I've been having a bad day. The day just started. It's not even half over. But I've been having a bad day. A lot of medication issues with my thyroid stuff and trying to get doctors to prescribe things correctly and lots of things that are being recalled and I can't get stuff and it's just frustrating. And I have all my stuff, which is awesome, but also kind of stressful. So, hey Philip, welcome from the Philippines. Wait, your name is Philip and you're from the Philippines. It's awesome. You're welcome, everyone who's teaching, who I taught. I can't believe that so many of you, learned so many things from me. That's my favorite thing. I struggled with juggling, about 8 years ago I stopped juggling for years, 4 or 5 years. And it was because I was so I didn't know where I fit in the community, if I was not good, I wasn't good enough, I wasn't getting better. I was really down on myself from not being this prodigy that I felt like I kind of was when I was a teenager, oh, she's learning so quick, and then I didn't fulfill whatever that was supposed to be. So I stopped and I got really down on myself. And then when I came back to it, my only goal has been to just have fun and to try to like encourage that same behavior in everyone else. And a lot of that is to teach. So I'm so glad that it's working and helping, because I really like teaching. If you live in a small town and you don't know any other jugglers, you should consider trying to teach people. Put up some flyers. And if nobody wants to, maybe they'll want to watch, and you can do shows. Juggling can be shared with everyone. Oh, real QVC, I get what you're doing. You're doing the friends thing. I'm smart. Gage, cool name, Gage. In my 6-ball wimpy video, I said a 6-ball fountain tutorial would be coming out soon. Am I still planning on making it? Yeah, that soon term was a little behind in reality, but it is legitimately on my list of like the next 3 things to film, because I know I get so many questions about the 6-ball fountain. So I'm gonna help you with that. These are my notes. Look at how legit these are, and not chicken scratch. These are my notes on the factory, so that I can teach it correctly. I'm gonna do this one. I'm better at it than that made it seem. And then I'm gonna do some easy 4-ball tricks. I have 360s, and I have the 6-ball fountain coming up soon. So. And then clay motion. It's so hard because I can only do like 1 a week realistically, but I really, really, really want to. I know that everyone wants all these cool tricks, and I want to help, so I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Did you pre-order a PlayStation 5? No, I don't like PlayStation. In general, I'm not a big fan of Sony. Despite the fact that they make the best cameras. It's the only thing that I like of Sony's is their cameras and their TVs. I don't like them as a company. It's kind of like Amazon. Like, I like what they do. I don't like Amazon as a company. I don't like Sony very much, especially Sony's PlayStation department. I find them like really, I don't know. I'm super into gaming in terms of like the culture. I have a lot of friends that do it. I watch it quite often. I'm really into it in that sense. I don't get to play as much as I want, but I just don't like the PlayStation mentality of a lot of its fans, not all of its fans, but I don't like how PlayStation in general seems to be. They play dirty, like, of all of the 3 console companies, Nintendo, PlayStation, Microsoft. Sorry, Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox. I think Sony is definitely like the bully of the 3 and tends to be kind of jerky about things. So anyway, to answer that question, no, I didn't order a PlayStation 5. I am very close to pre-ordering an Xbox, the new one, and I really am excited about it. I'm waiting to find out if the Harry Potter game is going to be out on Xbox, because they just announced the Harry Potter game. In fact, no, I don't. I was going to say we could watch it together, but I don't know if anyone wants to do that. Anyway, the new Harry Potter trailer it was like a reveal trailer, just leaked, not leaked, it was posted. I'm very tired. The new Harry Potter trailer just came out, but it was from Sony for PlayStation, and it says PlayStation 5. I am like 98% sure that it's not going to be a PlayStation exclusive, and I think that they would have said that, but I'm not sure, and I want to wait until I know for sure, because if the Hogwarts game is legitimately only on PlayStation, I will buy a PlayStation, which goes against everything inside my soul. But actually, I had a PlayStation 4, and I hated it, so that's really the only reason. I hated the PlayStation 4. I sold it immediately and got an Xbox One. Yes, Bounty, you just made my day. I'm going to, he or she says it's coming to PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, which means that I can go get an Xbox. Except I don't have any money, so I can't. Someday. Yeah, Harry Potter is the best. I'm so excited. I would legit, if I had my closet all set up, I would legitimately go put on my Harry Potter cloak right now. That's how excited I am. I love it. I have the whole outfit. When I was making money as an editor, I straight up spent hundreds of dollars on Harry Potter stuff. And I have a wand. I actually really want... Okay, how many people here have like a Harry Potter wand or would get one? Like, if you like Harry Potter. Because you can get pretty cheap ones or even make your own. But I kind of want to start a thing, which I think maybe is a thing somewhere, but I kind of want to start a thing where they're like long and skinny and they're pretty well weighted. You know what a wand looks like, it's a stick. But you can do like pen spinning finger tricks with it, and it's a lot easier because it's big. And I kind of want to do like a thing where it's like its own skill toy wand tricks. Somebody said lots of politics around the J.K. Rowling franchises these days. Yes, it's very sad. She's not handling things great. But I'm a big fan of separating art from the artist. It's complicated, and I totally respect people who don't do that and like choose not to support Harry Potter because of it. I still listen to Michael Jackson music, even though I think he's a monster, or was, and yeah, similar with a lot of artists. But I do support the transgender movement and my transgender friends, and I think it's really sad that J.K. Rowling's having a hard time grasping the concept of that equality. Anyway, Harry Potter. Hey, I kind of dabbed. That was not intentional. Made me feel gross, dabbing. I don't like it. Are there wildfires where I live? No. I live in Utah right now. I actually moved like a week before that started happening in California, and I'm so sad for my friends that still live there. I'm very happy for my lungs and my allergies. Today we do have, I'm looking out the window. Today we do have like a lot of haze and kind of smoky look, so I think maybe we're getting some of it. I think it's just so sad what we're doing. I need to get in touch with Adam Savage and do a build of a spinning wand. I do. I actually got a text from him the other day, which was just the coolest nerd thing. It was like, hey, this is Adam Savage. I was like, oh. What? He's asking me about some juggling stuff. Dad is dead. Good. Henry, thank you so much. If you don't want to be a mod, I didn't mean to like force this upon you. I was just like, Henry's a mod now. Henry is a great member of my Patreon and helps me out with a lot of stuff. He also has a YouTube. Henry, please post a link to your YouTube for all the people. This is a really good question. I'm gonna juggle while I answer it. Cho Inu asks if I have troubles with depression during COVID. Move into the juggling room. I don't want two blues, I want a pink. Yes! Focus! It's like a Jedi. I'm embracing the focus issues by using them to my advantage to make me look cool. So yeah, I think it's really common right now that a lot of people are experiencing depression or anxiety because of COVID, especially in America. At least that's what I'm more familiar with because I'm here, with just everything that's going on and not really feeling like we can do anything to make it better, and you can't get the support and the social things that you're used to. I've definitely felt increased stress and anxiety during COVID, despite the fact that I already deal with stress and anxiety and depression. It's just been like a weird version during COVID because everything just feels weird and not normal. And I think that like literally when you get flipped upside down, your equilibrium is off, so that people who weren't experiencing depression before are now, and people who were are experiencing like a different type. So yeah, I mean, if you're somebody who's experiencing any sort of depression or anxiety, just be nice to yourself. Don't keep it inside, talk about it. It's totally okay to talk about it. If the person you talk to doesn't listen, find somebody else. find an outlet online. There's also numbers if it gets really bad, but I think it's something that a lot of people are going through. You're not alone. So try to just remember that it's going to be okay. That's what I do. Let's see if I remember frostbite. Frostbite. I don't remember what it was. What was it? It was like a 4-4-1, and then this trick. 4-4-1. Yeah. Pretty much like that. Focus! It's so fun. All right, frostbite. I kind of like it because there's so many ways you can play with the rhythm. Like you can like lift that one really high. Yeah. So you can do it like super tight, which is kind of how Andrew Olson was doing it. Except he said that he does the first 4 as an outside throw. So it's that one. That pink one should have gone on the outside. Yeah. It's very hard. Something like that? Did that look different? Okay, so normal, or the way that I was doing it, and then Andrew Wilson's way. It feels more like Mill's mess. I don't know if this is at all interesting to anyone else. I like going down these rabbit holes. But then you could also, like, there's so much possibility for heights with this trick. That just looked like a messy pile of crap. I don't know. How does it look from the side? Let's see. I imagine not very good because I'm trying to keep it in. Kind of probably reveals how much I don't keep it in plane. Like typically with juggling you want to try to keep it in one solid plane unless you're intentionally doing tricks like Seb's mess, right Marvin? Where it's like very flow type juggling tricks. I don't know if that's Seb's mess, but like intentionally trying to go backwards and forwards is kind of fun. Juggle jam. Hey. And we're back over here. I got really dizzy after that last. You like Andrew's a lot better. Yeah, I'd like to see it. I'll have to watch this back and see what I think. This is just a friendly reminder, because it seems like it's been a while since I mentioned it. Everyone who is enjoying the stream on YouTube and or enjoyed Tuesday's stream, just a disclaimer that I will eventually be discontinuing streaming on YouTube and streaming purely on Twitch. If you're not sure what Twitch is, it is a streaming website purely for live streaming. You can go to twitch.tv and create an account with your Facebook. It's super easy. And then you can follow me, Taylor_Trice. It's the same. And that's where I'm going to be doing it forever. Probably a lot more than twice a week, honestly. I think I'm going to start throwing in some random ones to keep you on your toes. Like, oh, it's Wednesday night. Taylor's bored. Needs some friends. That's why I'm going to do it. Right, Bounty? The drops are so loud. I don't know if it's just that they didn't put a lot of carpet padding in here or what, but it's like, it's so loud. How many people saw my video yesterday about trying to soundproof my floors? Raise your hand. I wish I could see you. It would be fun if we could see each other. I'm gonna try to eventually do like workshops where I can set up where I can see people. That would be fun. But if you've seen that, sound like my grandma. She used to say that a lot. Like, I seen you yesterday, and I was like, Grandma's important. But I love her, so it's okay. I loved her. She passed away. Why do I keep talking about people who've passed away? I forgot what I was talking about. Welcome to the Real Taylor Tries. My brain is all over. Yeah, a couple people have asked about Discord. I don't have a public Discord, mostly because I don't want to overpromise like the ability to contact me and stuff. I like to keep it more close-knit. So for members of my Patreon, I try to be pretty active on the Discord, and it's great. It's like this little family. We have a great time. And it's just $2. And mostly it supports me and it helps me out, but you also get access to like my extended tutorials and stuff. So if you really want to have like good contact with me and be able to ask questions frequently, you can go to Discord. I don't mean to like make it, oh, you have to pay me to get support. That's not what I'm trying to do. It's just that I have to limit how much I can have access to things because I just don't have enough time. Yeah. Yeah, Mohit, yes, I saw your $70 for soundproof mat. I feel like $70 is a steal to be able to juggle with peace of mind, but I honestly couldn't find any cheaper options. A lot of people recommended yoga mats, which are just too thin. I mean, it depends on your floors, I guess, but those don't help. Some people suggested the puzzle mats, which I talked about in the video, and these don't work. So, I just really am not, I think that was the best option. A lot of people recommended like upholstery foam, which I actually looked into, and it's too expensive. It was the same price. I figured out that I could get a bigger piece of memory foam than I could upholstery foam for $70. So if you want to support my Patreon, somebody asked, you could go to patreon.com/TaylorTries. That's it. You got a dog today, Hercus. Congratulations. Speaking of, Lemon, you want to come hang out? They want to see you. They do. I don't know why, but they like you. You ask them, come on. They said that they wanted to see you. Somebody asked about you earlier. Come on. I know, come on. Jump. Come on. Yeah. There she is. Let's say hello to Lemon. Lemon, say hi. This is Lemon, for anyone who doesn't know. She's the best dog. Except everyone's dogs are the best dogs, so it's technically accurate. Except that one dog. I met a dog once, though. It's not the best dog. You're so pretty. Lemon is a great dog. Don't lick me, though. Hey. 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 Thanks. I love Lemon, too. She's like extra sleepy today because the movers freaked her out yesterday. It was a long day for both of us. So she's exhausted. She's been sleeping all day. How old is Lemon? She's like 14. Is that accurate? She says she feels younger. I have to translate. It's taken years, but I can speak her language now. Yeah. People when I'm walking think I'm weird because I talk to her. Aw, I'll give Lemon a virtual hug for everybody. I love hugs. Hugs are so great. That's probably been the thing. Don't lick my arm. Hey, thanks. Your breath is too bad. That's one of the things that I think I miss the most about pre-COVID life is hugs. Like, I'm a very huggy person. I love giving hugs. I think it's a great way to say hi to somebody. And it just makes me sad that we can't do it anymore. But when we can, anytime you want to come give me a hug at like a festival, just say, hey Taylor, can I give you a hug? It's important to ask for everybody. But ask And I might say no if I'm like contagious or have a cold or something, but if I'm not, I'll give a hug. But don't be creepy about the hugs. Some people give creepy hugs. A lot of guys that I've interacted with have given creepy hugs. So I'll give a tutorial on hugs real fast. Hug, and then if the other person starts pulling away, you let go. You don't hold them in like a weird, you know, don't do that. That's weird. Also, don't do the thing where you're hugging a girl and this is the back and you like slowly like brush her back as you, don't do that. It's creepy. That is my impromptu how to hug tutorial. Thanks for joining me. Would you be able to pat me on the back when giving me the hug? Yeah, absolutely. I love giving pat hugs. Yeah, virtual hugs to everyone. I mean, who here needs a hug? I feel like everyone needs a hug. I need a hug all the time. Hugs are so great. One of my favorite things to do, this is gonna sound cheesy and stupid for some of you, but if you feel like you need a hug today and you want a hug from me, I want to give you a hug. So one of my favorite things to do that one of my friends taught me when I wasn't around them a lot is to close your eyes and you take a deep breath in and you hold it and you visualize somebody squeezing you and then you let go. And there's just something about like taking a deep breath and holding it that feels very similar to a hug. I don't know. It's really cheesy and it might not work for a lot of you, but if it did, that's a hug from Taylor today. Yeah, I love hugs. I really should do like a full tutorial on hugging. Like, I feel like there are, okay, you want to hear my weirdest thing about hugs? It's very strange. Okay, this requires the big camera. Hey, they loved you, Lemon. They loved you. You can go back to sleep. Okay, so hugs. Take a second. When you're walking up to somebody and you go to give them a hug, usually you go one hand up, right? Sometimes you go two. If you're like really tall, you tend to probably do just two underneath and like hugging their middle. If you're really short, you probably go up like that, or the opposite. Sorry, that was the opposite. If you're really tall, you'll just go over and like hug their neck. If you're really short, you'll hug their middle. But most people will go and they'll go like this, and they'll hug diagonally. Take a second and like, if you were to naturally walk up to somebody, which hand do you put up? Do you put your right hand up or do you put your left hand up? Let me know, because I have a whole thing with this. It's frustrating. So my thing is, for some reason, 90% of people put their right hand up. And this is related to juggling, I think. So people will put their right hand up, and so the good thing is that inversely works. So if I put my right hand up and you put your right hand up, we'll be able to hug, and your hands will be on the other side, and it'll be perfect, and like we won't hit each other. Because my brain is weird, I put my left hand up. So when I go in to hug somebody, 90% of the time, their right hand is up, and so we're like, and it's this awkward, weird dance. It's like when you try to like shake somebody's hand with the same hand, and you're like, that's what happens. So I'll put my left hand up, I'll try to hug them, and their right hand's up, and then we're like, it's the worst. And I think, so the reason why I think this happens is because of juggling, because it's the only thing I can think of. I think that, so I put my left hand up, and I think the reason why is because this feels more comfortable to me, having my right hand down and my left hand up. And it's because this is how I juggle. I mean, obviously I juggle like this, but when I do tricks that involve carries, like factory, I do it with my left hand. I'm used to having my left hand up and my right hand being the base. So pendulum trick, factory, waterfall. I can't do a lot of that with my right hand up. So I'm like, for half of my life, I've been used to putting my left hand up and my right hand down because of juggling, and I think that that's why I hug weird. So I go into hug like this, and it's just the whole problem. So, this is fun. I love that I can explore all my dumb tailor things with you. I'm right-handed. That's the weird thing. I think it's been an ongoing experiment for me. You'll pay attention now. Next time you hug somebody, you'll notice which hand they put up. Yeah, and so the tall people, like Fish Boy, 6'2", you just hug from above. It's smart. Hi from France. Oh, how do I pick up a ball with my foot? I mentioned this on the last stream, guys. Gotta start coming to every single one of my streams. All 2 of them. No, I'm kidding. John Clary, you should watch my tutorial. I like legitimately have a club tutorial and it covers all the tips that I have. Somebody said whether I'm 19 years old. I think they're asking if I'm 19. I am not. I'm much older than that. I'm an older person. Are juggle quips good for indoor practicing or sport codes better? That's a good question. I plan to, especially in October, like make prop reviews a priority because I get asked so much about types of props and which ones are better. I think it depends on what you want in a prop. If you want a heavier beanbag that's going to be like work your muscles more, which I sometimes intentionally use, it's part of why I got juggle clips, because I wanted to have the option to sort of like strength train with juggling. This basically, then you can get a different type of beanbag like sport coats. They're way better. So, yeah, if you want like that extra like, oh, it's making my muscles hurt and it's gonna wear me out and increase my endurance, then you can get heavier juggling balls. So juggle clips are very good for that, even indoors, outdoors. If you're not gonna want to do that, and most jugglers don't because it's like inefficient to wear yourself out physically, I recommend normal beanbags like G-balls or sport coats. They're way better for inside typically just because they're not so heavy. And they're pretty durable inside. If you're juggling outside, hands down, juggle clips are great. Or Russian balls. Russian balls are also great. I don't personally like them, but they're great. Russian ball recommendations, oh, there's so many. Norwicks are really good. These are great. These are rad factors. I am not left-handed. What's the most dangerous thing you've juggled with? That's a good question. I don't know what the most dangerous is. I have like, I want to say fake dangerous things. They're not, here, I'll switch to I think I have them right here. Let's open this box. Yeah, I have at least one of them. This is something I got from an old juggler that passed away a long time ago. This thing isn't dangerous, but it's not sharp. It's just blunt metal, but it is very, it's metal. So if I caught this, it wouldn't cut me, but it would hurt, and especially if I hit my toes. But yeah, these are hard to juggle. I have more, but I don't think I have them with me. Yeah, they're not in here. Get out of here. And I have this cool trunk. You can see the edge of it, and it has all my juggling stuff in it, but it's locked, and I don't know where the key is because I packed it away. So, all right, so I've had a couple people ask me, how do you kick up a ball? I covered this last time. I'll cover it really fast. It's the same as a kick up, where you're going to position your foot near it. You're going to lift your toes up, not your whole foot like with a kick up with clubs, but just your toes. You're going to push the ball on it and cradle the ball with your toes and then kick it up. That's it. That's how you do it. Yeah, Norwicks are really good Russians. A lot of the best Russian jugglers, like Russian ball jugglers in the world, use them. They're kind of hard to get, I think, in America. And I mean, a lot of Russians are just really similar. They're gonna feel slightly different, but they're not like beanbags where they vary so drastically. Like a Russian ball is a Russian ball. So I really like rad factors because they come in a lot of pretty colors, and they have this great ball hybrid. Like some of them are too soft, in my opinion, where they kind of feel like playpen balls from McDonald's. So like where they just like they're, but these ones are quite good. They're soft-ish, but they're not so soft that they are ridiculous like the McDonald's ones. So rad factors, super great. Also this size is great. This is 72 millimeter. You can get smaller if you are wanting to work on numbers though. Hey, thanks Ludwig. I'm glad that everyone thinks I'm the best. I don't think I'm the best, so it's nice to hear that other people do. Yeah, Z, that time I juggled wasp nest was crazy, but I can't think about it because of PTSD, so. Do you have any other hobbies besides juggling? Of course. Of course. That's what my whole channel is. I have so many hobbies. I have a guitar that I need to learn, that I'm working on. I've got a kendama. I mean, a lot of them are like related to juggling, but I really want to work on a lot of them. I keep remembering questions that I started to answer and then stopped. Somebody asked me when they're going to see all the content in my promo, and I started to answer that question and I forgot. And everything in that promo is going to come out over the course of like a year. So you might see one this month, you might see one next month. You're not going to see them all at once because a lot of it is footage that I have like bigger videos for, and I need to, like, they take a while to edit. So like the one where I was in Afghanistan is going to take a while. The skateboarding one, I'm filming an update for before I can make that one. So there's a lot of stuff like that. Andres, hi. Fares, hi. Be careful not to be spamming, but hi. I appreciate the highs. How long ago did you record the last video with Josh? If you're talking about that video where he's teaching me the neck roll, that was like a week before I left. So 3-4 weeks ago. Just haven't edited it. That's probably what's going to come out tomorrow. I have to finish editing it. Hello Bastian, hi everybody. Hello Jaleb, hello George. Have I ever juggled the hockey pucks? No. They're not round. Round objects are nice. Tips from 3 to 4 balls. Hammer and Neil, watch my tutorial. Best tips, like I actively work really hard to make the tutorials full of as much information as possible. So I'm not just telling you that to try to get views or money or whatever. Like I don't make enough off YouTube for that to be worth it right now. But I do, like the actual content I work really hard on. Like I have notes upon notes on each trick that I teach. So all the tips that I have, I try to put in there. There are very few that I don't have. So. What is the secret to my enthusiasm? I drink some caffeine. I think that helps. But it's getting better now that I have thyroid medication. My energy level is going up. But enthusiasm in terms of positive outlook, I think I'm just like genuinely excited by juggling and just trying new things. Like that's what life's about. Hear the garbage truck? They're coming for you, Lemon. I'm not saying you're garbage. I'm just saying they're coming for you. What are they talking about? Oh, enthusiasm. I just like genuinely have always loved learning things. I think that's the funnest thing in life, like living life. So anytime I feel like I'm starting to get in a rut, I just try a new thing because then it's like at least I did something different, and I just love the feeling of like not knowing how to do something. I don't fully relate to a lot of people where I think that they get, like I get frustrated when I learn, but I notice that a lot of people get really frustrated immediately if they don't get something. There's like this instant gratification thing that most people have. And I really encourage you to try to get rid of that because it's just not helping you at all. I think it's so satisfying when something takes me a while to get because like otherwise, it's not, like you didn't earn it, you know, it's not as fun. I think juggling especially taught me that, like, real talk, right? Juggling, once you can juggle, shorts and chairs, so obnoxious. Once you can juggle, you immediately are like, what do I do next? You're like, okay, I'm gonna learn this trick. Once you can do this trick, you're immediately like, what's the next trick? Then you do this trick. And it takes you so much time in between each one, but like, the act of juggling is really that time between when you start learning a trick and when you can do it. Once you get it, you move to the next thing because you're not really satisfied with just knowing the trick. And I think that's such a great metaphor for life, right? That's why we're constantly unhappy, in a sense, is because we're always trying to find that next thing to fulfill us. Juggling is like a micro example of that, where like, you're like, well, yeah, I can do this, but what else? And you're always trying to find that next thing. And I think the importance is to do that. I think that that's what life's about a lot of time, is to keep growing. But I also think it's really important to learn to enjoy the process, because no matter, like 90% of the time when you get the thing that you were working for, you're probably going to be like a little underwhelmed and try to do the next thing. And so like the beauty of life and the process is the process, not the thing. Like being able to do this trick is great, but the fun of juggling comes from learning the trick. Once you can do the trick, you immediately try to find something else to do, because that's what we want to do. We want to learn something. And that's where my enthusiasm comes from, is to apply that same technique to everything. I love failing at something because it means I get to do it longer. Because the second I succeed at it, I'm instantly slightly unsatisfied with it, which I think is true for most people. I think that's what our brains do in order to try to keep growing and learning and improving and all that stuff. So yeah, don't expect to be great at something right when you start, and be patient with yourself with that, and learn to try to train your brain to like that, because it means you get to do it more. Yeah. Bastion, I can juggle 7 balls. I cannot do 8. I have tried. Like, for some reason, the barrier of entry for that is just really high. I can't even do 4. I can't do 4 on my left hand at all. But it's mostly, I think, because of muscle. I do not have this muscle, but look at that. It's pretty nice. Like, look at that muscle. Guns. Yeah. Ow. that like hurt to flex. But I have muscle because of juggling, and I'm trying to build it up over the last couple weeks, but I need to start like doing some serious strength training, because 8 is too heavy for me with the beanbags I have. I think if I started focusing on Russians more, I could probably get 8, but then you also have the difficulty of holding 4 Russians in one hand, which is so hard, or getting lighter beanbags, which is why people use smaller ones. But my pro beanbags that are coming out probably after Christmas, which is sad, but the pro Taylor Drives beanbags are coming out soon. They're going to be they're more durable, like more designed to feel like what I normally juggle as a pro beanbag, and I'm hoping that those can replace my sport co's, because I've designed them with Juggling Warehouse to like really be what I like to the gram of how much they weigh and how squishy they are, and they're hopefully they're going to be lighter than my sport co's, so they're like going to be an in-between. I think they're going to be a really good option for people wanting to work on 5 to 7 balls and who want like a more durable ball, because the beginner beanbags I have are great, but they are going to fail eventually over the course of like a year. But they're also really cheap and affordable, so they're awesome, and I highly recommend them compared to a lot of expensive beanbags. But I wanted to make like a step up that's more expensive but still cheaper than a lot of beanbags, that's going to feel extra good. So those will come out in like 6 months. It takes forever. Goodbye, hug. No one else can leave though. We're still hanging out. I have to go soon, but when did we start? It's been like an hour and a half. 11:30? Yeah. When did I start juggling? I was 12. So 2002. Tells you how old I am. Juggling, what a cool name, Juggling. Do you think the Georgian shuffle works well when you try to go from juggling to contact juggling? I've never thought about the Georgian shuffle in relation to contact juggling. This is me contact juggling now, because I'm realizing that's the title of the thing. So I'm contact juggling, everybody. So the question was whether the Georgian shuffle applies to contact juggling. Let's move to the big cam and see if we can explain to people what the Georgian shuffle is, because lot of people don't know. All right, that's just too low. That's focused right at my pants, which is just not where we want to be. All right, so the Georgian shuffle. Okay, I get the Georgian shuffle and the Singapore shuffle mixed up. I know one is a one-sided version and one is a double-sided version. And I'm also really bad at it with Russian balls. So I'm gonna get juggle clips, which are not my preferred indoor beanbag. These make extra loud noise when I drop them, but I don't have my other ones up here, so. I can't remember, oh yeah. So this is the two-sided version, which I think is the Singapore shuffle. So then there's the, I think the Georgian shuffle is the one-sided version. You can do it with various types of catches. You can do it under the arm. There's lots of variations of it. I'm not sure what is considered the raw trick. It's such a great trick. Shuffles are great. I love them. The Singapore shuffle, I think, which is the double-sided version, was the first trick I learned at my first IJA festival. So it holds a special place in my heart. So that's this one. I want to do a tutorial on this one soon. I think it's a beautiful trick and it's super fun. The thing that I love about it is that it has a self throw. So it has a throw right there where I'm throwing to the same hand. It's purely there to make the trick feel continuous, even though it doesn't do anything. Like, it's a totally unnecessary trick, throw. If you don't do it, it's considered a clay motion trick. Not if you messed it up. Focus. Nice. So if you don't throw that ball, it's just this, which is I would consider this a clay motion or micro juggling trick. The question was whether you can incorporate it with contact juggling. I'm not sure. I think you could with that ball, because it's not necessary to do a throw. You could do like a butterfly or something. I'm not good at contact juggling, but I don't know. It's a good question. But Singapore shuffle or Georgian shuffle, super great trick. You'll see elements of this a lot in my freestyle. I highly recommend looking it up and learning it. It's not too hard. In fact, I can't teach it right now. It's too complicated. But, what? No. I have different setups and I keep switching to the wrong one. Hey, Craig. Thanks for getting into juggling and watching my stuff. Everybody. So glad. Shuffle tutorials soon, I hope. It's not super high on my list just because no one has requested it. I try to keep track of which ones seem to be the most, requested, and definitely the factory is the first one, because everyone wants to learn that trick right now. I'm guessing because Library of Juggling says that it's the next trick to learn. I can unicycle. Somebody asked if I'm planning on learning it. Zombie Cuber. I can unicycle. I can go forward and turn around and come back and fall off and then get back on. That's about what I can do. But I am planning on getting better at it, at least until winter, because now I live in a place where there's winter and snow, which is tough. What was the first trick I ever learned? Yes. I think, obviously, I learned the cascade, so that is a trick. And if you know how to do the cascade, you should pat yourself on the back, because it is a trick, and it is good. So I learned the cascade. I think the first trick I remember learning, it's very possible that I played around with half shower or something, but the first trick I remember learning, and I thought that I made it up, because a lot of beginners think that they make up tricks. But in a sense, you do make it up, but you're not the first person to do it. But was windmill. This was the first one I remember sort of figuring out and was like, I'm a wizard. So I think it's great. And I think in reality I probably started by doing the half shower, figuring that out on my own, and then was like, oh, But that's why I still, to this day, love the windmill. And I have a tutorial on it, so if you don't know how to do it, give it a try. It's not super impossible. It's a good trick. There used to be a guy who rode around on a unicycle playing a drum where I was a student. Your school sounds awesome. There was a guy when I lived in Salt Lake, there was a guy that used to unicycle in this part of Salt Lake called the Avenues, and I would always hear people making fun of him, and it made me sad. It makes me sad that people make fun of other people who, in general, but especially who like have a weird hobby. Because I got made fun of for juggling. I think it's changing now. Like the internet has helped skills and hobbies in general not be considered lame and stuff. But in high school, I definitely was like that weird girl who juggled. Like that was my name. So it makes me sad that people make fun of people who are passionate. I think it shows a lot of insecurity in that person. How long did it take you to learn juggling 7 balls after you qualified 5 balls? Ooh. I mean, it depends on what you mean learn. If you mean qualify, I didn't start practicing 7 balls until 5 or 6 years after I could do 5. And I think that's part of why I'm a well-rounded juggler. There's a lot of jugglers who can juggle 9 balls, but they can't do any fun 3-ball tricks or 4-ball tricks or 5-ball tricks. And I personally really get annoyed by that because I have jugglers in the juggling scene who like try to be really elitist about juggling, and I often get voted in the top 10 jugglers poll, which is a poll that happens at the end of the year, and people, for the last couple years, I've been in the top 10, which is like so sweet and nice. I don't like campaign for it at all. It's not something that I like strive to do. I don't think it measures your worth as a juggler at all, but I think it's nice to know that people consider me their top juggler, one of their top jugglers. But whenever that happens, I end up getting a bunch of comments from jugglers saying that I'm not a good enough juggler to be on the top 10, and that hurts and that sucks. But I notice a lot of that is because they measure what's a good juggler or what's considered a good juggler in a different way than I do. Like they consider a good juggler somebody like Luke Davies who can do 9 or 10 balls. I look at Luke Davies and I'm like, yeah, he can do 9 or 10 balls, but he can't do like cool 3-ball tricks or 4-ball tricks or 5-ball tricks. And again, I don't think that, I'm not saying he's not a good juggler, he's a great juggler, but I also don't think that like saying that, Michael Karras is also a great juggler and he can only do 7 balls like me, So to me, it's just weird that people only seem to measure greatness in juggling based on either your technical ability or like your creative ability, but not even the idea that you just know a lot. And I think being like a well-rounded juggler is great, and I love it. That's what I love doing. So I think it's just don't get caught up, especially in yourself. Don't get caught up in like comparing yourself to, well, how long did it take you to learn this, and how long did it take that person to learn that? Am I learning quick or slow? Like, who cares? Just do what you like to do. Don't let other people dictate whether you feel good about your progress. Thack wants to know, what do I mean by qualify? This is a juggling term. I also want to make a juggling terminology tutorial because I know there's a lot of weird terms that we use. So a flash is when you throw the amount of objects, when you throw them all and catch them, that's a flash. 1, 2, 3, catch. That's a flash because I have 3 balls. A qualify is 2 times the number of balls, that many catches. So 3 catches of 3 balls is a flash. 2 times 3 is 6, so 6 catches of 3 balls is a qualify. So flash, 1, 2, 3, catch, flash. Qualify, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a qualify. So if I'm doing 5 balls, then 10 catches is a qualify. If I do 7 balls, 14 catches is a qualify. It's typically what's measured as like, I did the trick. But it's definitely not a great measurement of like consistency or real ability to do that many. Like getting a qualify of 5 balls is good and awesome, and you should be proud of yourself, but it doesn't necessarily mean you can you're like a good 5-ball juggler. How do I juggle 4 balls? Clay. There's a tutorial. I made one. Go on the YouTube. Go check it out. My mom has called me like 6 times. I have have to respond to her. She's worried. Moms. So sweet. Can your beginner advice on letting go of a ball? Hey, Animation Station, what up? We hung out on Tuesday. I'm happy you're back. Sorry. I have a very distractive brain. What was the question? I lost it. Oh, letting go of the ball. That's hard to say. I think the most important thing is to think of it like a plane. So you don't want to be letting go this way, and you don't want to be pushing. So you really want to scoop side to side like this. That's the best tip for beginners. If you start getting more advanced and you're worried about like whether you're rolling the ball or pushing the ball, it's generally agreed upon that you want to push a ball up with your, like I tend to hold it right in my fingers, but I'll push sort of flat. That being said, there's a lot of tricks where I use my fingers and kind of roll the ball. I think that's why they say technically that Russians are supposed to be better for your form in that sense, because you're not rolling the ball. I don't understand why that's better. I think that that's just like, it's one sort of criteria that you can put on yourself to make it harder, which is great. But there's a lot of tricks where I'll roll the ball, especially like back crosses and stuff, and I don't understand why that's supposed to make it better or worse. I think if you're using Russians, it's worse because it'll wobble, but with beanbags, it doesn't matter. So I think however you can throw it, do it. Can you learn MTB tricks? I don't know what that means. Will you tell me what that means? Oh, my mom was very worried. Aim for corners. Yeah. If you haven't watched my 3-ball tutorial, watch that too, because I cover a lot of tips in that. Like, even if you know how to juggle 3, but you feel like you want to make sure it's more solid, if you haven't seen my tutorial, do that. Same with 4, same with 5. There's a lot of people who ask me questions on how to do 5 that I answer in my tutorial. And I'm not saying that bugs me, but it bugs me, because I took the time to make a tutorial for you. So watch. Oh, hey, Red. Yeah, do BBB. Okay. I'll try. This is actually a trick I want to work on, so it's good. I feel like it's easier with Russians. We're going to try with Russians. Got the Russians. So if people who don't know what BBB is, it's where you juggle like this. So it's going to be a butt trick. I'm not good at this trick. Oh, it's so hard. You really want to like aim for here, is what I've heard. You want to aim for this pocket and catch it and let it roll down. If you want to try this trick with me, which I highly encourage, let's see if I can get 10 catches, because I've never really worked on it. That was 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Boom, nailed it. Oh, we went out of focus though. We gotta do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 40 seconds. Hey, that wasn't bad. I really want to work on, I think I've seen Zach McAllister do this, where you do this and then you pop it. Bad example. But you catch it in it, which that actually went really well, but you work on this and then you pop it up and then you go back to juggling normal. And I think that seems really nice, because then once you start to lose it, you can pop out of it. No. Let's try again. Oh, I've never done that before. It felt so good. I really liked that. That was actually awesome. Thanks for pushing me to do that. I've actually never done that before. I'm gonna start practicing that. That was nice. I think the reason why, hey Garrett, the reason why people prefer it with Russians is because of Russians have an ability to stall really nice. I'm gonna try to make a tutorial on like the difference between Russians and beanbags and which are better for what reasons. I think they both have their pluses and minuses. One of the pluses of beanbags is when you catch it, bad example. When you catch it, it tends to stay put pretty well, which is why they're good for like body stalls. I'm just perfectly demonstrating this now. Come on. Like that. If I were to try to do that with a beanbag, see how it bounced? There's so much more bounce on a beanbag. It doesn't seem like there should be, but there is. When you have a squishier beanbag, it's a little bit better, and I prefer mine a little squishier. This is a Juggle Quip, and they're very round. They're made for jugglers who really like that ball shape. They do not give at all. I mean, there's a little bit. It's nice. I really like these balls, but they're not. They'll bounce a little bit. Not necessarily when you're catching, because when you're juggling, you're supposed to learn how to drop with it, so it's like an egg, so that doesn't play too much. But when you're doing something like BBB, where you don't have that negative space, because normally in juggling, right, when we're catching, we bring it down and up, and that's supposed to be a continuous motion. When you're doing it with BBB, you're catching it here, you barely have any room to push it back up. So I think taking advantage of Russians for their ability, since you can't cradle a beanbag as much behind your back. I love nerding out about juggling. I'm so glad I have like 50 people that'll hang out with me while we do this. Henry's messaging me. I'm actually gonna head out soon because I'm tired. This is 2 hours. I can't believe you all joined me. Thank you so much. Like I said, oh my gosh, it's Carrie. I'm sorry, Carrie. I got excited. Carrie's one of my favorite people. I feel like we've only met like once, but you make an impression. You're like a really good person. So hi. Anyway, can you solve a Rubik's Cube while juggling? No. I can solve a Rubik's Cube and I can juggle. Cannot push them together. But no, the hater is not here again so far. On Tuesday it was so intense. I talked to my therapist about it for like 40 minutes. I feel like there's such an expectation when you get on the internet that you're just supposed to chill or deal with it and know that there are trolls and like you can't do anything about it, so it's fine. And it's like, yeah, you can't do anything about it, and that sucks, but it's not okay, and we shouldn't pretend like people who are on the internet don't have feelings and like they can't process those feelings. So I had to process Tuesday's stream. I'm gonna be live streaming officially next Tuesday, around the same time for like that this started. But I will also be popping in on Twitch more often. So I'll be popping in at night, maybe in the morning, like multiple times a week, unofficially. So please go to Twitch. I will not be doing that on YouTube. I'll still be doing Tuesdays and Thursdays on YouTube like I am right now, for the next like week or two, but I'm not going to do it permanently. So if you like this and you like hanging out with me and juggling with me and doing things, you're gonna have to go to Twitch. Please do. It's not as confusing as it looks. All you gotta do is make an account with your Facebook or your Gmail or whatever. You can go to my page, Taylor_tries, and you can follow me, and then you'll be able to come see me when I'm up. So that's it. That's what I'm going to be focusing on. YouTube will be for the content drops, and Twitch will eventually be the only place I live stream. So if you really like it, and I really hope you all come hang out on Twitch, because I really appreciate all the YouTube fans that have showed up. You're really great. I'm happy that you're here, and I don't want that to go away. But it's just too much to do both, and I can't keep it up, and it messes with the quality of each. So, all right. I am really glad everyone came. I hope that you found this fun, as fun as I did, because it was really fun hanging out. And if you have any ideas or questions of things you want to ask me, or like things you want me to try on live stream, like I'm down. So come back on Tuesday and let me know with your ideas. Okay, I'm gonna go edit the video that's supposed to come out tomorrow. Bye! Oh yeah, big hugs. Remember the hugs thing?